for Strategic Communications at WR Advisory Group. Once again, Tisha Milpa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the launch of this Thomas. I'm really happy that you're able to share this moment with us because it's something that has been in the works for some time. This Thomas brings to life a rare convergence, the natural and contemporary world reimagined into furniture pieces that carry the weight of history and artistry of today. Each piece we create is made of volcanic ash, a material born out of nature's most unpredictable moments. This is why we are always in pursuit of capturing the very delicate balance between chaos and harmony, permanence and change, much like nature itself. But this Thomas is more than just furniture. It is a celebration of people, places, and time. It is a tribute to finding beauty in chaos. When Mount Pinatubo erupted, it gave rise to new possibilities, inspiring a material that captures both the permanence and evolution of the landscape. We embrace the responsibility of bridging the gap between what is and what could be, and we stand in awe of the transformation that we see before us. It is a new spirit of culture, craftsmanship, and design, and later you will see our collection. We are very, very excited to share this moment with you because when we experience together how this Thomas piece is a stunning conversation starter, we try to push the boundaries of furniture design through modern exploration of natural materials, culture, and international expertise. We are deeply rooted in the heritage of many lifetimes' work, yet we move forward, led by a simple but powerful ideology, to only create pieces that elevate the standards of our industry and honor the artistry of our land. This is our story, this is the Thomas. These pieces are all mementos of the natural world. Thank you and welcome to the beginning of our journey.
Thank you so much once again, Tisha. Definitely loving the fact that we are elevating and honoring our story here as Filipinos and of course the industry that we want to bring into and make it even more impactful. And as I mentioned earlier, it is really not enough to just see it on the screen. For those of you who haven't seen it in person just yet, we will be giving you a chance to do so later on so you can feel the emotion behind the story that Tisha mentioned earlier in her speech. And thank you again, Tisha, for setting the tone for the event. Up next, we hear from the lead of operations bringing intention, process, and sustainability in every step of production. Please welcome the Stonos Managing Director, Douglas D.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. Being the lead for operations poses a lot of challenges and as well as opportunities. The material we use, volcanic ash in particular, there's a certain balance that has to be maintained at all times. It's kind of a finicky material to work with, but even with that almost a bit entropic, there's entropy, there's chaos involved in creating all of these, putting all of these materials together. There is a potential for our artistic creativity. And in terms of sustainability, it has always been a source of inspiration, especially when it comes to the design process. Because we don't just create, we collaborate with the artisans, the architects, industrial designers, and engineers. We also work with the communities, and most of all, we pay attention to the material itself. Medyo off script na to. But what I do realize, especially when in production, is that one person that may look at the item during production has a different perspective on it. The colors that play, if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, by the time you go back and look at it, it's a different thing. It's a different finish. So that is the amount of dedication, focus, and attention that goes into making each one of these pieces. And this has been the perfect opportunity for us to get into that creative space because we came from exporting, and the kind of rigorous training that comes out of it can also be a bit limiting. But with the introduction of Destornos as the brand, that really gave us the wings or the space for us to be able to explore and really touch into the story of it. Ayaw kong masapaw dun sa side ng mom ko. But what's so nice about it is that although it came from this very chaotic, very powerful natural disaster, Pinatubo eruption, that was not the be-all and end-all. It has always been a source of strength because the story doesn't end with the disaster, and that breathes its energy into whatever we do when we do this our artistic endeavor. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Douglas. And I think you've been seeing or hearing the theme so far that there is a balance between chaos and beauty. Earlier from Tisha, it was the story of chaos and beauty. From Douglas, we hear the process of chaos and beauty. The actual material is both chaotic and beautiful to work with. And of course, the next person that we're going to hear from is going to be sharing more of the vision and the artistry behind it. So here, we are going to be calling in our visionary and creative soul who saw the potential in ash and shaped it into meaning. Her artistic vision transforms ash into sculpture, shaping stillness into story and raw material into emotion. Please welcome the co-founder of Destornos and artist behind the forms that surround us today, Miss Shirley D.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Shirley Lee, the designer behind this. And I'm here to talk about how this was, how this all started. Let me tell you my own story. I think this is more interesting than anything else. I am a financial analyst from a bank, from Equitable Bank. So I have a finance background, marketing background, but I quit my job and applied in a fashion specialty store, late 80s. Mid-80s, late 80s. There's only one fashion specialty store in the Philippines. I will not mention. But the hardest part during my journey as a designer was convincing my boss. I am not fine artist graduate. I never was. I am a business person, studying business all the way. But of course, there are some talents we have that sometimes we don't utilize because we think that probably we don't need it. I quit my job after 8 months and applied to that fashion specialty store. The first hurdle was convincing the boss I am worth it. My boss saw my portfolio. My boss said, ano to? Puro six lang to. I said, I do not have fine arts background. None. And then she said, then why are you applying for a fashion designer? I said, I am not a very good fashion designer, but I'm a good clothes designer. That's two different things. Fashion, you look at trends. Clothes, you base on people who's going to wear your clothes. So I told that to my boss. My boss was impressed. And he said, I'll give you 6 months. You give me 3 months, I can make it. The most difficult, my boss was convinced. The most difficult part of my journey was convincing my colleagues. My colleagues is a graduate UP, UST, architectural and things like that. I'm a business person. How can you convince them? 1 year after, we had those sales. with those projections, I sold the homes. So that convinced my friends and my colleagues, and they became my good friends, very, very good friends. And that's how I started the company. From the fashion industry, I stayed for 5 years. What I designed are soft bags. When I got married and I had my son, I decided not to work, but to start a new business. When you start a hard line, it's furniture, accessories, it's a different ballgame. When you do clothes, you're only responsible for the one who's going to wear. But if you're designing for house, for furniture, it's a different ballgame. You are convincing the father, the mother, the children, because they live in a house. So that's a more difficult job. When I started, I had friends who helped me along the way. Afterwards, when I got the hang of it, I had no choice but to design it myself. That's how it all started. But to answer a lot of people's question regarding why Pinatubo. When Pinatubo erupted, the farm, we have a piggery, my husband has. It was really devastated. Me and my husband was so pissed off. Ang dami naman dito. Ang gagawin ko dito? You know, that's the first thing I thought about. Because, you see ash all over. So I was saying, let me create something. From this one to something. Nobody believed me. When I started this, for 4 years, nobody wants to talk to me. Because it's something different. Nobody started it. And I never tried local. I went straight export. Lakas nga ng loob. So, when I started this, nobody believed me. Sabi, ano yun? Sabi ko, Pinatubo po. Ano yun? Di ba Pinatubo yung nag-erupt? Eh, ano yun? And then, when you try to sell it, export, nobody believed me. Because whatever you sell, it needs to have a commercial value. That has no commercial value. Until one big French catalog gave me that break. And that was the start. And then, 30 years after, I'm still here. So, the creative process was very, very difficult, but it was also very rewarding. I got a chance to meet a lot of top designers from global stores. And you get to study how they look at things. Sometimes, when you are just exposed to the local scene, domestic scene, your vision is very limited. But when you work with international designers, you don't look at a certain product just like that. You look at many possibilities. That kind of creative process is worth the trouble. So that is, yun lang kinikwento ko yung creative process. And that's it. I think that's it. When somebody asked me a while ago, what is very important in the design aspect, I said, designing is not something you express of yourself. When you design, you make sure you design for your audience, for your buyer. While an artist designs for himself. It's an expression. It's two different things. So, what I do, my job, is to be the designer. It's only when the sculpturing, the concept, from the concept to the sculpturing, that is only the part that I apply, me being an artist. But the rest, a designer, an artist, and then entrepreneur all the way. So I wear many hats. So, that's more or less tells you a story of what I am, since it's all about, who was behind it. What else? Okay. what are the key points in design? One of the few things I discovered when designing anything, is to understand your buyers, your audience, or who gets to buy it. And that's the function. Now, another thing you need to work on is you should never have too many designs on marketing. Example, etong bilog na to. What is more important than that? Is it the form? Is it the details? Is it the color? Is it the what? I have discovered from my own creative process is that you can only pick two things. It's either the form and finishing, or the texture and the finishing, maybe not so much the form. That way, when you present it, anything you present, whether your buyers or your media or your simple customers, they will understand it immediately. What you need is for your buyers or whoever gets to see it is to understand it immediately, not to analyze and overanalyze. When somebody sees that product and he gets to sit and think, then the message is gone. You need to make sure to get that attention they want in a few seconds. And that has been my guiding principle for the longest time. That's it. And then, just that. I actually, some random questions, I don't know. But you know, when we were discussing with Tisha, I told Tisha, I just make kwento. I don't want to read it in my cell phone or something because I got bad eyes. No? Mahinang mata ko. And another thing, it will feel spontaneous. I think the beauty of every narrative is on the spontaneity. It's never about the script. So that's how I tell my story. I don't know whether it was a good one or not good one, but as long as I pass it, that's fine with me.